Hello guys, welcome back to Python Basics series. So this is part 4. This is the start of part 5. So in this part 5 we are going to talk about the Python functions. And for Python functions, you need to understand that what is a Python function. And basically it's a block of reusable codes that perform a specific task. So basically, how the function helps us is to break down your program into smaller and more manageable pieces. Or basically, it helps you to reuse the code and avoid repetition when you are writing your project. You can have a program that will do a particular task for, for someone who is using a system, and instead of repeating the code to each and every user, you just need a function that will do the same task to each and every user. So you just define a function, then the function will be called and it will do the task. You might find yourself doing a large project, so to avoid the repetition of codes, just use a function and you will treat it as a module, you call it somewhere. A good example of a function we have been using in Python is the print function. The print is a function that is used to display the string passed to it. In Python, we define a function. This is the syntax. In Python, this is the syntax for creating a function. So you use the def keyword followed by the function name, then the brackets, then we have the parameters which would be the arguments passed to the function. So these are always optional. The parameters are always optional. So they are not always considered whenever you are creating a function. So the other thing is after that, go to the next line and you have to indent. You have to indent for it to be for the content that will be inside the function to be treated as a function body. So I use the pass keyword, of course, it used to represent the empty function body that will be defined later. So a function can return a value or print a value. So I'm going to show you that. So let's define a function, hello, a function that will greet someone whenever it's being called. So you can define a function body, so it's going to print hello hello there, like that. So it printed, so it can return or print a value. So that's how you define a function. Use the def keyword followed by the function name, then the brackets, then a semicolon. Then you move to the next line, ensure it is indented a little for it to be considered a function body, then print. Then you can print or return a value. Just in case you're not returning a value, you can use the pass keyword. So after writing that, you need to call the function. If you run this program, it won't print anything. So Python function.py. If you run that program, it won't print anything. You need to call the function. So, and you can't call the function before its creation. If you call the function above here, it's going to give us an error. So you have to call the function after its creation. So this is here where you are going to call the function, call function. So to call a function, just use the function name, then the brackets. That is it. So it's going to print hello there. So that's how you define a function. For example, maybe you can use a function that it's returning a value. So this is how you can treat a function returning a value. So for example, we want to return, let's define a variable I equals 10. Then we are going to return that value I. So when we call this function, see what it does. It doesn't print anything. Why? Because when you're returning a value, when you're using a return function, you have to assign that value to a variable. So we are going to define a variable here. We can define a variable j is equals to hello. So then we can print the variable. So the value returned by the function will be stored in the variable j. Then we are going to print the value that was stored in the variable j. Then so and that's how you define or create a function in Python. So in the next video, we are going to talk about the Python arguments or the parameters. So that's all for the on how to create the functions in Python. See you in the next video. Thank you.